Good morning. It's April 18th, 2022. It's a Monday. Jason here with you, and we're going to talk about the topic of gratitude. So one of the things I like to do, and maybe this is of help to you, is figure out what things, the big things, mean. What do the big things mean to you? And so what are some of the big things? Love, gratitude, healing, giving, service, hope, faith, prayer, sex. What do the big things mean? Marriage, connection, challenge. What do they mean to you? There's so many of these broad words that you know, such as gratitude. Like, oh, be grateful. Okay, I'll be grateful. What does that mean? Now, I'm going to submit to you, I'll have you consider that you don't actually know what the fuck gratitude means until you sit and wrestle with it and you think about it and you start to do the math on your own and understand this. Because see, the word gratitude is just a word, right? It's just a human word. It's Gratiude, gratitude. I think I missed a T in there, right? I think I even misspelled it. It's just a human word. There's this emotion, this feeling, this thing that's out there, and we humans have put a word on it. So we've condensed an entire set of experiences and tried to put it into one word. What the hell does that mean? And again, I'll have you consider. I'm suggesting that you don't really know what gratitude is until you truly sit and contend with it. Until you use your brain and really use your brain and think, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does gratitude mean? And I'll open you up to another possibility. Here's a second possibility in this thing. First, that you don't know what gratitude means. And the second is that as you begin this journey, this path, this math, you get out your formulas and you start to figure out what it all means for you. Have you considered that you allow that your discoveries will be unique to you, that you will find and discover what gratitude means to you, and that will be unique to you and you alone, and what gratitude and appreciation and thankfulness ultimately mean will be something completely for you and you alone. So, as an example, I'm going to go a little bit through these thoughts with you. Now, I'm going to come to some conclusions in my mind that I'm going to communicate to you about what gratitude is. But, however, I'll have you consider that this is just my conclusions. And you might go, oh, that makes sense. I'll take yours, Jason. Sure, but you won't have it until you do the same process. So what are we illuminating? The process, right? Now, I know a lot of us out there, me included, at times just say, I want the answers. Just give me the answers, Jason. Just tell me and define for me what is gratitude. But that's not the way this world works. That's the suggestion I'm giving you. The overall Uber suggestion is you won't know what anything means and you won't figure out any of these big things until you do the math yourself. And I'll have you consider that it's not that you have to do this, it's that you get to do this. And this works on the inner world, the outer world. Some of us believe in a deity overlooking everything, such as God. And many of us obviously define that God in our own ways. And I would suggest on that highest level of deity human interaction that you do the math. And I'll have you consider that, why does this deity not show up for you in plain ways and just say, hey, you, I'm God, this is the way it is, do this? It's because that relationship between you and deity is for you to discover. You get to do that. And God would never take that from you. Now, a lot of things will give you straight up knowledge, right? We are in an era and a time when the scientists have done all the work and we know how electricity works. At least we think we do. At least we know how it's wired throughout our world and how it heads into the house. It's generated, how it's wired to the house, and how it goes all the way to a light switch and you click it on. Or, here's another way of looking at it. It goes all the way to a plug, and when you plug it in and plug it into your phone, which many of you are actually listening to this talk on your phone, it shoots the electricity into something called a battery, which captures it, holds it temporarily, and allows the phone to use the electricity to run for a while until it's used up. These devices that store the electricity. We know how to do this, so we don't have to really figure that out. You might say, I want to figure that out. Well, then you can go and figure it out. But you don't ever get to discover electricity from the base level up, because somebody's already done that. But what people can never figure for you, right? What people can never figure out for you, ever, is the interior workings of your heart, your understanding of your thoughts, your feelings, your motivations, why you're here, what things like gratitude mean. Okay, so what does gratitude mean? Now, this is my version of that, so you can take it or leave it, but look at the process that I have gone through as I've worked it out and thought about it. So the first thing I thought about was the idea of saying thank you to someone. What is saying thank you to someone? You can say it and not feel it. What is the feeling underneath it? And why do we say it? And so as I thought about it over and over again, I came to this conclusion that saying thank you was a social convention. So if you do something for me, and I say, you bring me a cup of coffee. You show up at the house and you go, here, I brought you a cup of coffee. There was I had a store that I worked at, an office, when I was younger, and this young kid would come by and visit. He was a friend of my son's. And so he'd always stop by and say hi to Mr. Smith, Mr. Jason. They always called me Jason. And he ended up starting to bring tacos. He'd always bring me a taco. Just a little Taco Time or Taco Bell taco. I'm not sure why he did that, but he got into this little habit of bringing me a taco. Just this little gesture. I don't know what he wanted out of it. And I remember just saying thank you and just acknowledging to him, thank you for the taco. I didn't even ask for it. And then it became kind of a little ritual. He would go get his lunch and he'd always get an extra taco for me. Stop by the office, drop it off, here you go, Mr. Jason, and then he would be off. And I'd say thank you, which is a social construct I discovered of me acknowledging what he was doing. It was a social construct, saying thank you. I stripped everything around. Now, we'll get to the feelings in a little bit, but there's this social construct. I let you know that I see what you did. It's ultimately a form of seeing someone, acknowledging them. And in a social tribal frame, that's important, because people who don't feel seen, don't feel appreciated, don't feel known for what they do, will stop doing it. So it lubes the social maneuvers of everything. Hey, thank you. Right? Because if I don't say thank you, what's going to happen to my taco? Well, it's going to go away, most likely. most likely it's going to go away. So expressing gratitude to someone is a way to socially, I see you, and keep it coming. It's self-serving. Thank you for this taco. Keep it coming. Thank you. I see you. Keep it coming. Thank you. I thank you. Keep it coming. And if you look into the literature and the studies on social interactions, there's a lot of depth to which we could investigate and discover on this emotional connection with someone. Keep it coming. Making people feel appreciated, seen, right? So it keeps coming, right? You've heard people many times at work go, I don't feel seen or appreciated here, right? And the old-timey bosses go, what the fuck do you care? I'm giving you a paycheck, so shut your mouth, right? But we've gotten older, right? In some areas, particularly some firms in the United States, where we start to think, wait a minute, if I send my managers down, or I go down once in a while and go, hey man, I saw what you did the other day. You did a great job, right? That added on to, here's some money, does something really interesting. It creates what? Better results. The worker generally, not always, but generally, will work more effectively and produce better results for the company. So gratitude, do the math. Thank you. I might say it this way. Look at this. Thank you for listening to these audios. Thank you for sharing them with other people. Thank you for taking all of this information and sharing it out to the world. Keep it up. Keep doing it. Keep it coming. Right? That serves me. It might not, by the way. But if I have this desire, this need to share this information, right? And perhaps the more that is shared, the more money I get, so I can feed myself and put clothes on and buy shoes so I can be out and walking. I can buy a phone and batteries and electricity. Maybe I'm saying keep it coming. Keep it coming. So let's think about that. There's a social interaction to it. But what's underneath that? What is a society? What is a tribe? It is a weaving of individuals into a larger thing, a bigger form, isn't it? Right? A tribe is individuals seen, or not seen, but generally seen and appreciated and acknowledged, and then together there's a synergistic effect of what a tribe can do that an individual cannot. So gratitude, the thank you, greases the wheels underneath it. That's a tribal understanding of it. And that you can learn ever more powerful, and some might even say manipulative, ways of expressing gratitude to individuals to get them to do what you want. To see them to get them to do what you want. To acknowledge them to get them to do what you want. And let's not forget that when someone sees you and appreciates you, so say you appreciate me, you go, thank you for these audios, Jason. They mean something in my life. I appreciate them. I'm going to be more motivated to what? Keep doing them. Why? Because that appreciation will release dopamine in my mind. It'll give me a little squirt of pleasure. It's the science of it. So people manipulate that. They go out and they give out dopamine bursts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're amazing. You're a crazy hole. And they're giving people dopamine. And what do those people do? They like, oh, the dopamine. I want to keep doing this. So this connection, this dopamine. But what's going on in you? What's going on in you on a different and a deeper level? What's going on in me? And this is where I kind of shift from maybe the thank you level to the word appreciation. Maybe gratitude, fumbling and messing around with these words. And so there's a word that many of us have heard, I'm sure almost all of us, called yoga. Okay, yoga, which most of us will immediately think of as a series of exercises or methodology of exercise that involves stretching. And it has forms, and most of you have done it or heard about it. But I had a teacher once, and she said, "You don't even know what yoga means." Now, this wasn't a yoga teacher, it was more of a spiritual teacher. And she used the term on a different level. And so we worked with it, and we kind of did the math. And we finally came down to yoga was defined as the union of what is. It is getting into alignment with something bigger than you. That was deep, right? Started to think about that. What could that mean? How does this express itself in my life? Alignment. Getting into the right state. You're clear. Getting your body into it. Yoga is an embodied way of doing that. And I started to think about what gratitude meant. And as I started to process and do the math, and I did this over a period of years, I started to understand for me that gratitude meant inside me that I was here, right here. To be grateful meant I was right here with the way things are as they are. That I became fully present. Gratitude was, just this, that this big feeling of being present, just being here, being in on it, being full, free of choice. I'm here. This is a yoga of sorts, a union with what is. This is what is. I'm standing in a field talking to you. There's a hill to the left, to the right, with cows on it. The sky is perfectly clear, not a sky, it's morning. There's no wind up yet, which makes it easier to talk to you. This is what is. This morning is, and I'm fully present for it. I'm in on it. I choose to be here. I don't have to be anywhere else. And I choose of all the places in the world to be right here and full of it and see every moment and allow every moment in. It is a yoga. It is a union within. I'm discovering this, and I'm like, this is gratitude. So gratitude is to be at one with what is. It's a feeling. It's a mega feeling of I'm here, and I'm here by choice, and I'm open to everything that happens in this moment. Consider something I just said. What if it was windy? And it does get windy in this field every afternoon, usually. So that talking to you through this microphone would not work because the wind would hinder my voice and you wouldn't be able to understand it. Consider that moment. What if I was standing here trying to talk in the wind? I might go, I'm not grateful. I'm not at one with this. I don't like this. I'm not here. I'm going to leave. I'm going to move inside where I can talk to you free of the encumbrances of the wind. And maybe I could practice something. Maybe I could put my feet on the ground and stand in the wind and just go, I'm here with the wind. I obviously can't talk and do my audios, but I can be with the wind for a moment. I can be grateful for the wind because I'm with the wind. I am the wind. Right here, I'm now. And then I could move. So gratitude starts to become some type of a yes. Yes. I've talked about the social level. I say thank you to you, so I want you to keep giving me what you're giving me. Keep sharing my content, yada, yada, yada. But what if I'm just grateful for you? What if I'm just at one, that there's something happening here that I feel inside me? And it can be on multiple levels, is what I discovered. So if I'm super thirsty, and I'm like dying of thirst out here, and I've gotten lost in the wilderness, and you show up and you go, here's water, I take care of you. My gratitude is, thank you, holy shit, I'm okay. You have provided safety. I was worried, and now you've alleviated my inner worry and fear and terror. You found me, and I was lost, and now I'm gonna live. And I'm so, yes, thank you. I need alleviation of fear, right? There's a gratitude in there of an alleviation of fear. But what happens when you're just not in fear, when you're open in love and you're walking and your thoughts go upon your beloved? And you just feel appreciation for them. So it would be hard for you to feel appreciation for an audience, right? You might feel it because, hey, I love this audience. I'm so grateful. I hear that at shows. Musicians, they come out, we are so grateful for you. Thank you so much. We couldn't do what we do without you. So it's a transactional thing, right? There's a level of gratitude, appreciation that's transactional. It's, oh, thank you. You're giving me some dopamine. You see me. You saved my life. You gave me some water. Thank you. And yet there's this gratitude, this union with what is, when you just become present with someone and you just appreciate them in your life. You appreciate everything about them, and something changes. I've discovered something melts away. There is this one-on-one dissolving of the selves, and it's like appreciation. Life is good, brother. Life is good, sister. Life is good, and this is amazing, and I'm so here, and I'm so at union with what is. This I'm in on. I'm in on this. I choose here and now. I'm in on my life, and I appreciate my life, and I appreciate the earth and the sun, and I'm just at one with it. And so I'm beginning to discover, as I went through this process, that there is this union, this oneness. There is this connection that I am here now, radically in love with life and all of its warts and everything in lovely parts. And the appreciation is something that blows me bigger. And it's not just thank you for saving me. It's just, I am you, you are me, I love you. And I started to figure out that gratitude, appreciation, that at its deepest levels was something about love. And love again to me became, as I worked on that one, a union of what is. I am you, you are me. I love you, I love the land, right? There's certainly romantic love, there's sexual love, but there's just this other type of love, this love of oneness, the land, the earth. And I just, choice by choice, acknowledge it, see it, and appreciate it. And that, so somewhere in appreciation, somewhere in gratitude, past the manipulation, past the tribe, is an acknowledgement, a seeing, a declaration, maybe verbal, maybe just in the heart, maybe written down, maybe a thought of, yes, I see you, world. I see you, sun. I see you, wind. Can you open and love the wind? Can you love the cold? Can you love everything? Can you love? What does appreciation mean? As you walk the earth and your feet are on the earth and you go, I'm one with it. And appreciation started to become a declaration of love. Love is this feeling of oneness with someone. Or something. I love this sunrise. I love this morning. This morning is so perfect. And I declare it unto you. I have appreciation for it all. I'm here. I'm present. I'm in on it. I choose it. I am a divine sovereign being, and I choose this. And so by saying it, I acknowledge it. I accept it. I so appreciate this morning. I so appreciate this opportunity to talk to you, to declare. Appreciation has something to do with declaring that I see what is. I see it. I don't just see it from the guy who brings me the taco or someone who pays me for my services, thank you, or my wife who brings me a glass of water when I'm thirsty, or someone who saved me when I was at the bottom of the pit. Someone came and said, and reached an arm down and said, come out of the darkness. I appreciate it. But I'm appreciating everything else as well. Appreciating the pit and the lessons it taught me, and the hunger and the thirst and the wind, and appreciating this beautiful moment, and I declare it. I declare it. I feel it, and so I acknowledge it. I become aware of it. This declaration is tied to this awareness of this appreciation. It's acceptance. I'm here. I'm in this morning, right here. I can't be anywhere else. I see it. I declare it. I know it. To say I appreciate and feel appreciation, be aware of your appreciation, is to say, I own this moment. I see it. I'm not unconscious. I'm bringing all of this unconscious shit underneath, up, and into the conscious light. And I see light and I go, I see you. I see you. I love you. I merge with you. It's the yoga, the union of what is. And I declare it to myself, to the world, to the sun. I say, I see you. I see you. Yes. And I dissolve open when I do it. It just melts me open into the morning. I see you. And on some quantum level, me seeing it, being aware of it, is creating it. I see it now. What does gratitude mean to you, brother? What does gratitude mean to you, sister? What does appreciation mean? I've given you some thoughts so you can start digging and swirling and get your notebooks out and get your feet, get your shoes on and get walking and talking. Get thinking. Get a whiteboard. Write 100 pages of notes and then burn them up and start again and do it over again. What is appreciation? What does it mean to be a union? Okay, there's a sexual union, there's a friend union, there's an earth union, there's just this dissolution. And here is something to consider. That this appreciation, this union of what is, this gratitude, this thank you, this whole thing leans into a dissolution of the self into the one, into something bigger than you. And yet the self sees it and is in on it. I see it. I see the sunrise this whole morning, and I, as an individual, egoic person in this world, I'm me, I acknowledge it and I let it go. Gratitude is letting myself melt into something bigger. What if that's what gratitude is seeing and allowing yourself to melt into something bigger? It's past the social definitions of it, social manipulations. Thank you, so you keep giving me something, but it's a dissolution. I just love. I am love. And my gratitude is the sign of that I'm aware that I am love, and I actively, by choice, as an individual, a divine, sovereign individual, acknowledge that I am a divine, sovereign one. That I am one with you. Consider that I'm one with you. You are one with me, and I see it. I declare it. And that this giant feeling of dissolution into openness in one, this giant feeling, we try to drill it down, and we try to put it down into these words, gratitude. And maybe at this moment you can start to realize that our words are pale facsimiles of the truth of what these feelings are and how they flow through us and how they are expressed. Brothers and sisters, I hope this gave you something to think about, something to get your pens out and do the math on. I send you my love, and I will talk to you on the next talk.